Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna, and today I'd like to take you on a tour of my living room. It's decorated for Christmas, and I'd like to just show you what I've done and give you a feel for our living space and maybe some ideas. Maybe you can get some ideas from the decorating we've got going on, that I've got going on today. In the beginning, when you come into the house, this is a split foyer. When you walk in the door, there are steps on the right and steps on the left. And of course, the steps on the left would be the ones that you would come upstairs, and our living room is upstairs. This foyer is not real big, but it's pretty tall and gives you a feeling of open space, even though the house is small. My husband built this wall tree here on the wall, and I love it. And I use that. Me and him use that a lot. That's where purses and things when you come in the door land. And it's small right there. You can see the floor is not very big, and when you come in that door almost, it's just a few inches away from the railing. So it's a nice concept, but it's a little tight in that area. And so when the little ones are trying to put their coats on, or you're down there trying to put your coats on, if you got 3 or 4 little kids trying to stand around and that door's open, it's hard to get back there for them to get their coats on. So we put another little coat rack up here, and that's where the kids' coats hang. This is a picture I bought Donald for his Father's Day. I got it for him for Father's Day. He loves deer and wildlife, so that's what this is. And since we have Madeline, I've introduced Madeline to you on one of my previous videos. We've had to build this this wall here. We raised 3 children here, and I've kept a lot of kids over the years, and nieces and nephews. And well, my older kids, when they grew up, they used to hang off of this. This used to be open here, but since we've had Madeline, we've built this for her safety, to keep her from flipping off of there and hurting herself. Now this bookshelf we've had here, Donald probably built that within the first 2 years that we moved in, because he wanted to close that, and if we put a sofa or couch on that wall, the kids couldn't climb up on the back of it and flip off down this foyer. So we modified it in little ways like that. Donald built this gate so that we can close and lock it and keep the kids from going downstairs or falling down the steps as they've grown. So that's really been useful over the years. This is down the hall this way. This is my son's, one of his paintings. It's an acrylic painting, and I love it. And then I have my daughter's poppies. This poppy she painted for me, so it's hanging in my hallway. But as you come up these steps and take a left, you'll enter the living room. This is our little desk area. We don't really have a room that we can designate for an office. This is a small house, and we've been here for 37 years. So things can get a little tight, and we have to get creative in where to put things. So our desk here, and this is where our accountant does our paperwork and our billing and takes care of business right here. And our accountant would be Donald. And to your right, we have the little coat rack that Donald we put up for the grandchildren, so that they can put their little coats on, and it's near the floor, and they can just come right here and hang their little coats, and they're not back there behind that door. And then this is the gallery wall that has all of our little sweet baby sweet babies on it, all of our grandchildren, uh, as they were born and brought here, and we got to see them in the hospital, and we got to get those new little sweet grandbaby kisses, and we got some pictures of those things, and they mean a lot to me and Donald. So this is our grandbaby, or our baby wall. I do have a few pictures of my own children as babies. This is my oldest son, my middle son, and my little girl. My daughter, when she was born, we brought her home, and Nathan's holding her. So I have that picture up. It's one of my favorites. My daughter also has that in her house. She has it in her hall. This is Nathan when he was 2.5, before he had any brothers or sisters. He used to call himself a lonely child. And this is Dustin, and his little boy looks just like him. Our little David looks a lot like his daddy. This is our little basket for our ingoing and outgoing mail. We have that there, and that's what if we have mail, we'll put it in there, and as we're going and coming, we're able to pick it up and take it to the post office. But that's our Sweet Baby Kisses gallery wall in our little desk area. I don't have a Christmas tree put up because Donald bought me, as part of my Christmas last year, he bought me this beautiful Norfolk Island pine, and I've kept it all this time, and it's I love it. I just love it. So I keep it right here. It went outside for the spring and the summer, and it grew a good 6 inches or more. And then, of course, when the temperature dropped and it started getting really cold, I had to bring it in. So when I brought it in, it was a lot bigger. And I set it right here beside the recliner. It's one to serve as our Christmas tree this year. And of course, we have Madeline, who has special needs, so I won't be tying any kind of ribbons. Ribbons or little ornaments tied to it would be beautiful, but that would just stimulate Madeline, and she would want to play with those and take them off. So we're not going to put anything on it. I don't want her to hurt the tree trying to pull the ornaments and stuff off. So we won't be having a Christmas tree, or I won't be putting any ornaments on this. But if you ask me, I think it's just beautiful just like it is. I love the Norfolk Island pine. And this little shelf behind here is one that Donald, he made me the shelf, and then he, over the years, as he would work out of town or go out of town, he would pick me up little blue and white pieces. And so that's what those are. I love blue and white china and pottery. And so those are things he's picked me up over the years, and I have them there. And as you come in, this is, the bookshelf from this side and the TV. I have an old console, an old buffet as a TV stand. And I love the storage that has to offer. It's a lot of storage. And a lot of books. My books are up there. I'm an avid reader. I love books. Yes, I'm aware there's a Kindle and electronic books, but there's nothing like the feel and the smell and the joy of a book to me. So I probably will always have books. I'm in a dilemma now trying to figure out what to do with these stacks of books that I have. But I love to get to them when I need them, for them to be readily accessible. So, yeah, books. Books are a big part of my life, and they're in a lot of them's in here in this living room. Not too many decorations there in the corner. My room sprays, I make the essential room sprays, and they sit right there so that I can access them and use them. I did change out the curtains. I had cream and navy checked curtains in here, but I always change them out and put red curtains for the holidays. So I do that around before Thanksgiving. I'll change the curtains out. these are the two windows that we have in our living space and in our living room. And they were smaller, and Donald changed them out for us and put us some bigger ones in to let in more light. But I still feel like the light is really limited. I grow a lot of plants, and they reach for the light, and I have them under lights and things. But these two windows, that's the whole of the windows in our living room. This is the recliner, and it's comfortable. This table was the table that we had when we were raising our children, and we had it for years. And then my son took it home when we got another one, and he used it for 7 years or so. And then when he got a new one, he gave this one back to us. And we put it in here in the living room just to have a flat surface for the children. My 3 children are artists, and their children love art. And so over here in this crate are all of their books and papers and their paper materials for them to do their art on. And of course on the table are their little boxes of pens and markers. And that's one of their favorite things at Grammy's, is that they can just draw and do art until their hearts are content. And they love it. And so this table was it's really good for that. And it's a good flat surface for them to come in and do this. I put this Christmas book out every year. It's a favorite I like to decorate with. And then I have this little candle holder, and the kids really love it. It's I've had it for a long time, and I think it came from Party Light. And it's got a lot of action going on. It's got these little snowmen sliding down, and they've broke these little candy canes off so many times, and I just super glue them back on, these little candy canes. But it is really cute, and that's one of the decorations that I have in here. And then over here you'll find a gallery wall. This is an art piece I found in Mount Airy. It's a town that's not far from here, about an hour from here. And this is a watercolor of wildflowers, dried wildflowers. And I love it. I just love this art piece. I don't know the artist's name. I can't see it in the corner. And I bought it from an antique store. But it is a true watercolor, and it's beautiful. I love the colors that's in it. And it's one of my favorite pieces of art. It's not what my children have done. My children's art is my favorite, but this is one of my favorite pieces. And then, of course, I have the big old poinsettia, which I think is beautiful. I love poinsettias. I have kept them until they have got like 6 or 7 feet tall. In Mexico, they're a shrub, and here we use them as accent flowers for Christmas, and I think they're beautiful. You can pay a lot for them, or you can get them at a really good deal. Donald and I got 2 for $10 at Home Depot, and when I brought it home, it was a little dry and it looked a little sad, but I opened it up in the shower and gave it a misting and thoroughly watered it and let it drain, and then I put it in a ceramic pot, and it is just beautiful. It just loves being beside that window. And but if you ever get a chance to go to a nursery, all those poinsettias in mass are beautiful, and then they have a lot of different varieties. This is my daughter and her son and husband. And this, my grandma used to have these pictures on logs, and they're just something that I really love that has like a sentimental value. But we used to have these 2 pictures of these hound dogs hanging over our couch when I was growing up. And so I love those. pictures, and I incorporate those into the gallery wall for sentimental reasons, because I really like them, and they add. I love the shape. And then we don't have a fireplace or a mantle, so Donald put this shelf up over the couch. And then, of course, he built this little barn or main. I'm not really sure what that's called. The thing that you put your nativity scene in. A stable. I guess it's a little stable. But he built that for us this year. He put that together and for the nativity scene. And I really love that. That's really probably my main decoration for Christmas. And then we have, on this shelf, we have my mom and dad when they first got married, and Donald and myself. We've got, on our 25th anniversary, it's a glare on it, but we got a picture of us dancing. And then Nathan and Stephanie, and my mom and dad, and my older sister when she was probably a year old. And then there's a nice painting behind that that I really like, and it's just a landscape, and you can't see it. But maybe after Christmas tour, we'll look again when all the Christmas stuff is taken out, and you can see that painting. But I like it because of the colors. The colors, and it's a watercolor, and it matches the color I love, soft blue. I actually mixed this color of blue myself from some paint that I had to get the right hue that I wanted. And then, of course, on the couch, there's a handmade quilt, and Merry Christmas, and a stack of blankets and pillows because the grandkids cuddle always. I have some of my family and some of my favorite things over here. Those teacups, my daughter and I went to an estate sale when she was probably 5 years old, and she loved those teacups, and she was over there pretending to drink tea out of them. And the man that was having the sale, he said, "You take those teacups, you can have those." And of course, she played with them for a little while and a few years, and then as she got older, I bought this little rack and put these teacups on here. And so those are my little girl's teacups, and so I always think about her, and I have them hanging in here in the living room. It's the Christmas cactus from last year. I think somebody gave me that as a gift. And of course, it's doing good this year. It did bloom. It started blooming on Thanksgiving. It's still got one little bud left on it. But it had to come in from outside, so there's where it landed. These are Donald's prints of Pilot Mountain. His mother bought him the one on top, and it's actually titled Thanksgiving. She bought him that one some years back, and then I bought him the one on the bottom. The Pilot Mountain is a mountain that's local to us, and it's one that we went to. One our family went to as I was growing up often, and that's where we would go and just explore that mountain. So, and then over here you have this cabinet Donald's grandpa got from the old city hospital when they were tearing down the old city hospital. He bought these two old cabinets, and when they passed away and was cleaning out their house, Donald said, "I'll take those." And so these are his grandpa's old cabinets. He had them in his workspace, in like his little workshop down there in the basement. But of course, I love the old patina on them, and I put them up here, and I just washed them down really good and put some clear wax on them to keep that paint from flaking off, and put them here in the living room to put treasures in. This is the kids' shoe cubby. That's where they put their little shoes when they come here. We keep up with their shoes. And the old cabinet that has the treasures in it, more books, more books. Well, that ends the living room tour. It's small but home, and we enjoy it. It's lived in. I have to have a fan. I have that fan. I love circulation. I can't stand for the air to be stale, so I have those box fans in most every room, and open the windows a crack and just turn those fans on and air it out. That's something that I enjoy doing. Well, thank you for touring my home with me. And thank you for visiting Much Ado About Something today. As always, until next time.